It's a frosty face-off in the Arctic arena as we pit the king of the Arctic against a worthy new heavyweight challenger. Will the polar bear have what it takes to keep his title? Or will the walrus prove to be an awesome adversary? We're gearing up for some cold combat with walrus versus polar bear. Tonight's battle takes place in the Arctic Ocean. Sheets of ice and frigid water set the stage for a semi-aquatic struggle between our two fighters. First in the ring isn't the cute cola mascot you remember. It's the mighty polar bear. With no natural predators in its habitat, the only thing he has to worry about are human hunters and the increasing threat of climate change. With global temperatures on the rise, the Arctic is getting smaller. The polar bear, who already spends 50% of his time looking for his next meal, needs to expand his horizons and find much larger prey if he doesn't want to go hungry. Bring in the hefty heavyweight, the Walrus! The walrus is a pack animal. He likes to chill with his crew, and you might see them in groups of 100 or more. He's a carnivore that mostly feasts on smaller animals like snails, squid, and clams. Who's the only predator that stands a chance against him? The polar bear. Let's get into this fearsome fight with... Weighing in at 600 kilograms, the polar bear is outmatched by the walrus's whopping 1,700 kilograms. The polar bear can smell his prey from up to a kilometer away. But get this, his hearing isn't any better than yours or mine. The walrus can hear predators coming from over 1.6 kilometers away. He has up to 700 vibrissae, or whiskers, on his face that he uses to detect prey in the water. With his larger body mass and heightened senses, round one goes to the walrus. The polar bear is smart and knows the walrus has good hearing. He's going to sneak up on the walrus and catch him off guard. The polar bear finds the most isolated walrus of the pack as its prey. It's exposed, alone, and, well, sleeping, apparently. A walrus spends about 3/4 of its life sleeping. The polar bear has no problem finding a walrus with his defenses down. With a bite force of almost 8,300 kilopascals and 42 razor-sharp teeth, the polar bear makes the first strike. Shocked by the sneak attack, the walrus is trying to get away from the polar bear. If he can make it to the water, the walrus can swim away at a speed reaching 35 kilometers an hour. The polar bear wouldn't be able to catch up. His own swim speed is only 10 kilometers an hour. But on land, the walrus can only run at a max speed of 10 kilometers an hour for short bursts. That isn't much faster than your average human. The polar bear is much faster on land, running 4 times faster than the walrus at 40 kilometers an hour. He'd be able to catch up to the walrus well before he makes it into the water. Round 2 goes to the polar bear.
Man, I wish I had a polar bear right now.
The walrus has a thick hide that protects it from the polar bear's bites for some time. The walrus is even strong enough to take the full weight of the polar bear on his back. The polar bear is going to have to try something else to knock the walrus out. He uses his nearly 10-centimeter long claws to grab loose ice and throw them at the walrus. It's a direct hit to the head. That blunt force trauma is going to be hard to come back from, folks. The walrus could try to sink its 1-meter tusks into the polar bear's back if it wants to have any chance in this fight. But the odds of him being able to land a clean hit against the far faster and more agile polar bear are slim to none. It'll be a relentless and drawn-out beatdown from the polar bear. With his speed, agility, and endurance on his side, the polar bear wins this round. The winner, and still apex predator of the Arctic, is the polar bear! He may have won this fight, but how will our champion fare against the North American grizzly bear? We'll see who wins on another round of Versus!